this looks good. Hey guys, it's consignment day. Get ready. It's consignment day, which answers none of your questions that you probably have going through your head. First of all, what is a consignment? Easy enough. Let's say we have this Detective Pikachu slab. I could always sell it myself, right? That's just me selling it myself. But if I give it to someone else to sell on my behalf, right? Then if they sell it for me, take temporary ownership of it, and they sell it for $1,000 and they keep 20%, they keep $200, give me $800, that's a consignment. Does that make sense? So when they sell it for me, they keep a percentage, $200, I get $800, they've done most of the lifting, that's a consignment. And so there are a number of services who do consignments, Z&G Emporium, Daisuke, that do consignments that you guys can look up. I believe they mainly do it for slabs. I'm not doing a consignment on slabs. I love my slabs. My slabs are staying where they are. I'm doing a consignment on my singles. Ever since I began this journey of Pokemon, I've collected a number of singles that I don't necessarily want to keep in my trade binder that I could sell myself, but that's a lot. It's a lot, right? So when you accumulate a lot of stuff, you get two options, right? You could, and they're not bulk. These aren't bulk. So that's what these piles are that you see here in the background. They're not bulk. They're actually good cards. So I could sell them myself. I could sell them to card shops, get 50, 60%, right? I've showed that in another video, which is linked below. I could sell them at trade shows, right? That is the other option, maybe 70, 75%, something like that. I could also try consignment, which is another option, right? Or I could sell it myself, I like on eBay or something, and get 13%, I think is the eBay fees of what goes. So here's the thing, right? If I sell it myself, the pros and cons. Pros, I keep 100% of the profits, right? I'm not sharing that with anyone. There may be fees if I go through the eBay route. If I do it myself, it's 100% profit my way. But there's a lot of lift. There's a lot of effort. There's work to be done. If I go the consignment route, I'm passing a lot of large lift to somebody else to do it. Yes, I am paying them a percentage to do that work though. So that's the plus, right? And so the thing about consignments, and I'll show you the example of how I chose who I'm consigning with, where that pros really show up, is that they have a built-in audience that helps. And so, right, let's talk about my consignment, if you will, because I think going through a real life example may be helpful for it, but this is kind of why. I didn't want the effort of listing all of these singles on eBay or TCG Player and having to ship them out individually or in packages, right? That's shipping, that's postage, that's material costs, envelopes, all that stuff adds up. And I don't have time for that. I don't. Right? That's a lot of lift that I don't have the bandwidth for right now. Not really trying to be a vendor per se at the moment. So that's not really something that's for me at the moment. That's not in my story or journey right now. Maybe down the road, that's something we do, but not right now. You know, I've mentioned them before. I found someone who I think would be amazing to partner with, to do this consignment with, and there are others I've looked into or thought about consigning with, but this person and group I really believe in. I talked about them before on my show. I love them. I think they're awesome. I promote them as many times as I can because high quality, and they are crazy for TCG. Crazy is awesome. This is one of my favorite koozies that Mrs. Crazy has put together. They do great jobs, and they do consignments, and I've bought stuff from their consignment sales that they've done in the past. So I didn't go in blind just because I like Crazy. It just wouldn't make sense. That's not smart business. So I've talked to some people who've done consignments with them. I talked to Crazy about how he does consignments, and it just made sense. And so, yeah, you know, the pros, Crazy has a large audience. I think on Whatnot right now, let me just check. I think it's like 50K, his audience and his reach. So why wouldn't I want to put my stuff in front of, oh, sorry, he's at 63K followers. That's way more exposure than I would have if I tried to sell the stuff myself. So he's an amazing seller. He knows an audience. He knows how to sell. He knows how to get people moving. And that's something, he has credibility. He would save me time in trying to sell this stuff. Now, there are fees from Whatnot, which is where he sells. There's a loss control and timing. He has to plan it. He has to schedule it, sure. And I have to trust him. But I would have to trust anybody I consign with. And right now, I trust Crazy. So, because I've worked with him and bought from him so many times in the past. If you read any of the reviews I put on his Whatnot profile, you know I trust him and Mrs. Crazy. So it was a no-brainer after talking to him, after talking to a few people who have consigned with him. And so that's it. So you're doing it. And so what I did was I asked him, you know, about the process, what he needed. And what he said was he just needed a sense of how large the inventory was and a sense of what the total value of the inventory was. And that was good because I have slight OCD tendencies, and I need to know for my own sanity and sake what it is I'm sending out. You have to check with whoever you're consigning with. What is it they want? What are their requirements? Everybody's different. Everybody has different requirements. Some people are like, hey, just send it over. Some people are like, hey, I need it listed in a specific way, in a specific format, in Excel, in numbers, PDF, whatever it is, you got to do what they need. Some people may want it in a TCG player list. Some people may want it in a different way. You got to find out. You got to ask. Just like when I did that bulk video, everybody's different. Everybody's different with consignments. So you got to find out specifically what does the person you're consigning with want and require. This helped me because I was going to get organized anyway because I wanted to know what I was going to be sending to Crazy. It took me a while. So we talked about this a little bit before, and I told him it's going to take me a while to get organized. I'll send it to you when I'm ready. And then even after I sent it to him, he was like, bet, just send it over then when you're ready. And I was like, awesome. I'm still like gathering all my stuff. I will send it to you. But what I want to show you guys is just a sense of what my list looks like. What I did was I put together this list so that he knows, right? So I have a tab for TCG. I have some Chinese cards from 151C. Like you can see the set name here. You can see the number it came from, where I got the pricing from, right? And the estimated cost. And I put the URL so that if I send it later or whatever, he wants to look it up, he can see what that cost is. You can see like just a sense of like the English cards. I go for a TCG player so that you can find the cost and those. And then there's Japanese, and that's also TCG player. There's also non-TCG. And, you know, in talking with Crazy, he was awesome because he was like, you don't have to go crazy with, no pun intended, with the non-TCG. Just give me a sense of how many we're looking at, what we're trying to do. And I tried to find costs so that I had an idea of what it could be, like after school hobby. Basically, the bottom line is I know what I'm sending him. He knows what he's getting as a sense, right? Here's what you need to understand. The price you send him, the value of the entire inventory you send him, is not the value you are going to receive. Okay, let me say that once more. The price that you evaluate your inventory to be, you estimate it, is not necessarily the price you will receive. Even if you get the exact value, there's a percentage that the consignment person has to take. They're doing the big heavy lifting. They're the ones that are going to be selling your stuff, right? So it's only fair that they get a cut of the work right? So, but even then, some of the stuff that you list is going to go for higher. Some of the stuff you list is going to go for lower. If you got Pokeballs, guys, it may not go. Some of the stuff may go for higher because there's a demand. I don't know. And the thing you have to understand is that as a consignment person, as the person selling it, Crazy, I've seen when he does consignments, he may have to bundle some things. He may sell some things individually. He may, he does a lot of different things, and I don't want to say tricks of the trade, but he does a lot of different things to get people, to entice them to buy things. He does bundles, right? And he does things that I'm like, oh, that's an interesting bundle that I never thought about, that people are like, oh, that's awesome. I want that. And so, I trust him to put the bundles together, the deals that are needed in order to get people to buy. And so you have to have the trust in whoever you put that consignment with. And so remember that and just trust in that. So if you estimate the inventory you put together to be, I don't know, $500 coming in, understand that you may hit that 500 or you may fall short, or you may go above and beyond. I don't know. We don't know. It depends on so many factors, on so many things. Do you get the audience on the right day? Are they feeling it? Are they really into it? Right? So, I trust Crazy to find the right stream, the right audience, and for it to sell. But I also know that things happen and that some things will sell well, some things won't. And I trust that he'll find the right bundles to do it. But I do know this. He will do a much better job of selling this than I ever would. 100%, no questions about it. I have no doubt about that. Right? So, what we're going to do is, the key is I want to make his life easier. And so what I've done is, just to kind of give you an idea, look how many Venusaurs from all those blooming waters. What am I going to do with that? Do you guys see? How many Venusaurs and Blastoises I have? These are just different things. There's some... You will not find a Prismatic Evolution EX in here, because I don't get those. But I've organized this stuff into TCG, non-TCG, EXs, full arts. Everything's kind of organized. So we got some IRs, some tag teams, some Goldens. Yes, we got Mega. We got some promos. We got some things that are going to be sold. Some heavy hitters. Check out Crazy's stream. Yes, a gray felt Pika. Some Japanese IRs that are beautiful from the new Mega set. McDonald's promo. Yeah. So I got to pack the rest of these, but just so that you guys have a sense of how I'm packing it. See, I've labeled the boxes just to make life easier for him. So these, I gotta make sure go in the non-TCG. So non-TCG goes in here. Take some of these, put it in there. And all of these will go into that pile, these English ones, into here. So that's the Japanese. Yeah, I got another pile for Japanese. So I don't want to bore y'all. I just want to show you as I pack how this is going. So I'm just gonna snap and show you the end result. So finished packing, ran out of label tape, so I'll get that and add it, but that's it. So we are organized, we are packed, and so I'll get that into the big box and I will ship it out. And the next time you see me, we will talk about how it all went. It went great. The consignment was scheduled for probably a few weeks after he received it, because between him and I, we kind of planned for it that way, and it worked out. So I didn't watch the whole stream because I couldn't do that to myself. But I popped in here and there and watched it. He did a fabulous job, as he always does, in selling consignments. There's a real talent in selling cards. Not all of us have it. In just hyping up a card, hyping up the audience, getting people involved and into the stream and the auctions that are taking place. And especially when you're doing card after card. I mean, I think there were probably over 300 orders that he had. I have the stats roughly of what he had. He sent me screenshots. He gave me details and stats of how things were going just so that I could talk to you guys about it. And I mean, to go for over 3 hours and 32 minutes is hard. It's hard. And he does that daily. So, you have to be a professional one to do it, but you have to have that kind of energy and talent, frankly, to do that. And so hats off to Crazy and Mrs. Crazy, because you're also shipping those orders. You're also packing those orders, and they get nothing but 5-star reviews from me for the orders they pack. First rate. And so I know that they will pack those orders amazingly for the consignment just as much as they do for everything they sell. So, the fact that he planned and prepared and knew the history of the cards, the value of the sealed products, like he looked up anything he didn't know, found out what the value was, understood the worth and how to market it for the stream. That's what he does. That's what these guys who are consigning do, is they prepare for the stream, because they're doing this for themselves just as much as you, right? If the things doesn't sell, they don't make money either. So it's a win-win. It's a partnership. And so would I do this again? Yes, because it's so much easier. I know a lot of people get cards and they're like, hey, I'm going to become a vendor. This is the thing and avenue I want to do. Before you do that, think about consignment. Might be easier for you if that's not, like, you don't have to commit yourself to vending life. If you want to, God bless you, go for it. But there's also other avenues, and this might be something for you to consider. The fact there were, I think, 168 viewers. There were about 107 buyers. Of those 107 buyers, majority of them were returning buyers who are usually in Crazy's stream, but probably about 50 of them were new buyers. And I mean, we made more than I expected us to make on this consignment, which was awesome. And I think, Crazy said that it was a good mix of value. And so I think that helped, right? And so you don't want to just put any old consignment together. You want to put something that has good value in it when you do. Now, in hindsight, part of me has a little bit of regret for giving away some of the cards for consignment that I did, because now we're heading into October and Halloween, and I kind of wish I kept some of those EX cards to put packs together for kids for Halloween as a giveaway. So I kind of wish I did that. Hindsight being 2020, it's one of those things, but I don't regret doing the consignment. I thought it was a great process. It was, once I was organized, once we got through it, it was a great process. But again, you don't want to just do any old consignment. So you want to be smart about it. Do I recommend it? Yes. Do I recommend doing consignments with Crazy? Yes, because I've done it. I can now honestly recommend him for it. And yes, there are other people who do consignments. Look them up. Look at the reviews. Talk to people who have done it. That's what I did with Crazy. I did talk to people who have done consignments with him. So do your research. Figure that out and understand and be comfortable with whoever you're doing, because it is a partnership. So you want to make sure you trust whoever you're working with. That's probably all I wanted to share with you guys. Lessons learned. 1, make sure you trust whoever you're working with. 2, get organized. Be organized. 3, understand that while my consignment went better than I expected, it could have gone the other way, right? So you have to also be prepared for that reality as well. And 3, do a consignment when you're ready. That's probably the biggest thing. Because once you do the consignment, once it's out of your hands, it's out of your hands. You let go, let God, and let everything happen the way they are. And, talk to whoever you're consigning with to make sure you're prepared the best way you are. That would be my recommendation. So Hope you found this video helpful and insightful. You don't, again, have to do consignments with just a big package. Some people consign single graded cards. Some people consign sealed products. There's all sorts of things. And there are groups who do just graded slabs. So think about it, do your research, and have fun, because this is all just part of my journey, and I hope it's been helpful to share some of these things with you. And guys, if you've liked this video, be sure to hit the like button and be subscribed to this video, because you can be entered to win this Lucario V-Star promo. And all you have to do is be subscribed to the channel and leave a comment below on what you think about consignment. Do you prefer to consign, or do you want to vend yourself, or is there another option? You want to sell on eBay? What do you think about the whole concept of consignment, vending, selling yourself? That's all. Tell me about it in the comments below, and we will pick a winner in 1 week's time after this video airs. Let me know. And guys, before I forget, and before I get comments below on how to contact Crazy, I will put Crazy for TCG's contact information in the description below, just to get ahead of that. In case you're interested, please reach out to him directly. This video is not sponsored. I'm just sharing my own experience of my consignment journey. All right, you guys be awesome, be amazing, and remember, the world is a better place with you in it, and I hope you know that. Take care.